second makeup exam will not be off, so I hope you studied this time, Briar. You may begin now.
Right. No pressure.
Were not permitted beyond this point.
Hey! Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave. Please.
Show your work or shove off.
Agent, over here. Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
What is with the anomalous behavior? Please keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
The presiding bishop is not accepting visitors at this time.
Please direct any inquiries to the Artificer Laureate. Come back later.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Hello, stranger. Mercenary. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Any undue rage you note in my tone is not at all related to the recent coup in my beloved protectorate. I do so dearly love residing in a nest of traitors, waiting for them to capitulate, unable to aid my fellows at home. It is truly a wonderful feeling. The Sovereign is the true ruler of the Protectorate. The Consul is a corpse to be. I was tasked to remain here and convince the Order to return to the fold. But the Consul's betrayal is spit in the face of all those still loyal. All this is beyond my purview, I remind myself. I must remain focused on the Order. Hate is an inaccurate phrase. I find them arrogant and exasperating. Without the Protectorate, this little organization would have no holdings to squat in. I am here because the Sovereign has tasked me with bringing these wayward, pretentious toddlers back into the Protectorate fold. Unfortunately, my time here has taught me that only mass death has the power to change the local hearts and minds. Perhaps enough will be alive to save afterwards. I've proudly served the Protectorate my whole life. Now look at it. Traitors from without, traitors from within. It's enough to make an old man despair. That Consul, I never trusted that miserable bastard. His betrayal is so galling, I'd almost care to join the armed forces to bring him to justice myself. But my hands quaver with age, and the Sovereign has tasked me with my own duty. I must see it to completion before all else. I am not just anyone. The duty of a liaison is of the utmost importance, requiring due diligence and delicacy. Though I suppose it a mite strange that this task fell to me, as I'd urge the vehement tanning of any wayward body bent on disrespecting the Protectorate, which would now include the Protectorate at large. Madness, slandering my beloved Sovereign, following that feckless Consul, makes my blood boil. I had reason to suspect the Consul for some time, but this is beyond the range of simple suspicion. Some subjects had begun to doubt the Sovereign's ability to lead as his father had. But I did not expect them to turn so openly. Anyone who didn't side with the Sovereign will pay, sooner or later. You may count on it. Listen, you. The Protectorate does not do delegation. The Protectorate has a will that must be upheld. My presence here is a display of more faith than these fools deserve. Niceties are irrelevant, and likely detrimental to the task at hand. I am here to make the Order see the error of their ways. All other particulates are frivolous.
You know, you strike me as someone with a very small body of published work.
Well, aren't you the eccentric sort? The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits to non-essential order personnel. That's one way to become the center of attention.
A visitor. It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. I'm glad we're in accord. The presiding bishop's leadership allows the order to act in Arcadia's best interest. Without her, we would be nothing. The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its resources and cast it to the wind. And the Protectorate are no better than machines. Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, it will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering, no more doubt. First, there is the matter of proving your aims align with ours. To that end, there are some elements that need erasing. Do so, and we may begin to speak of your desires. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. From what I understand, Vicar Levin's continued existence is a mere side effect of whatever personal vendetta you happen to be attending to. I'm pleased he does not lie among the ranks of the dead. But I will need a more tangible effort on your part to trust you.
Pues ahí dieron dos sopa a los otros. ¿Qué crees tú? Ponme sopa.
I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
You should collect Azza from the ship first. Unless you don't want the benefits of her inside knowledge of the cult.
I always find I work best when undistracted. One could say I find the cultist at Newton quite the interruption to my focus. Now, how might we be of use to one another? I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge. Great. I was just thinking, I'd love for a stranger to come along and patronize me so I could blindly hand them experimental order technology. I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford. Who told you about that? Were there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you. You are giving me cranial neuralgia. If you really want to bother someone about this, bother Beckett. Maybe he'll predict your arrival. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
Say, I observed that. Crime does not...
nearby.
Mechanism. Causation determined.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Back and scan.
Just remember, seek out ways to help both sides.
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission.
Hello. I do so dearly. But now it seems as if unfortunately, which would now include anyone who didn't side with that. But my hands, niceties are irrelevant.
visitor, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. The Order has myriad matters of extreme significance to it. Not if I cannot gauge for certain if you can be trusted. I cannot allow just anyone to wander. A myriad of cultists have taken. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best I'll with.
We should collect as.
I always. Now, how might we be of use to one another? I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation. Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Great. I was just thinking, I'd love for a stranger to come along and patronize me so I could blindly hand them experimental Order technology. I have nothing. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
That's one way to become the center of attention.
Se duele la espalda, un masajito largo. Ah, con la sopa bastante está bien. No quiero más nada. Quítate de la espalda. Ya, échalo ya. Tiene el plato ahí, ¿no? Pues échalo. Preciosa. Ahí está. Qué poco la sopa. ¿Qué quiere? Que busque que un hombre ella.
Enjoy your time in the garden.
Ratcheting up my aggression.
Suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Abandon them.
You have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.